Hello guys, welcome to another country's episode. Coco's being loud again. That's my dog. Not my dog, my friend's dog. Anyway, I recently upscaled the map. I have finally moved to another map. This is why you see I haven't been posting in a while, because I've moved every single country over to the map. And some countries moved completely, like Mongolia, moving from Irkutsk down to Mongolia, and Nepal moving down to Tibet. So yeah, all these changes, and there's rivers and there's oceans now, which I've finally completed. I've removed most of the continents. The only continents that were made is Doggerland, because Atlantis and Sundaland didn't feel very important. And then I don't know why I made a massive continent over here. Also, I didn't realize that Tanzania was super large. Anyway, this is so the first couple. Okay, so so on warfare. Nepal is found out. Nepal is not in the alliance. So because of that, India is planning to strike an invasion of Nepal to gain more lands. So they send an ultimatum to Nepal, along with Vietnam, demanding the really nice land, arable land in the south. They end up declining, so because of that, Vietnam will start their invasion. However, the demands of India, which are much more less harsh, are accepted. So here is gonna be the demands of India. All India wants is land. Okay, all the land up across through here, following this river, cutting across these lakes, and then going across this river down south, and then connecting all the way down here. So Tibet is forced to accept this massive border change, sacrificing a ton of land for its independence. Well, China sees this and eyes it up and sends another ultimatum to Nepal, as everyone's cutting Nepal down to size. And the Chinese ultimatum is even worse than the Indian one. Since China is such a great power, Nepal is forced to give up what China wants, as China wants land all over here, all across this land and through here. Wait, it's not part of that. Okay, anyway, so China will successfully get this part. Once again, I gotta do some real quick. Anyway, so these are the Chinese demands on Nepal, along with full territorial annexation of this land. Once again, full annexation of this land and turning it into a major city. So because of that, Nepal is worried that the Vietnamese invasion will harm most of their populace. So because of that, they will move their capital to the Himalayan mountains over here. And then Vietnam will continue their invasion from the very south. In Yunnan province. Well, they successfully capture another major city, and then they continue and they are fighting fiercely against the Tibetans. They are mainly focusing on avoiding the Himalayan mountains over here. However, they will be mainly following up this river, and then they will hold a river line. They'll hold up this river line, And then nice. Coco is quiet. Anyway, after that, Vietnam will take all these little strikes, into what is it called again? Into Nepal, and then the last major city is almost there. So because of that, Nepal decides to surrender to the Vietnamese, which will mainly take all of this land, like all this nice prime real estate. Wait. Boom. Wait. I can just do this. And then this. Now, wait. Now the rest of Nepal gets annexed into China, as they are not annexed into China, gets puppeted by China. Because Nepal is basically like it's now a tributary state dependent on China for to survive. So because of this, the fall of Nepal has come, and the Chinese went. It's probably that app I accidentally downloaded. Anyway, now China has peaced out with Nepal, and they have successfully gained a new ally. However, Siberia and China are eyeing up Korea, as they really want some of Korea, and Korea is extremely weak after Japan invaded them. So because of that, China will do the invasion of Korea, and Korea worried about for their safety, has built up a fallback line. So because of this, China makes really big gains in the beginning, specifically over here, and then they also successfully land a naval invasion up north. However, Bo, why does the dog keep on barking? Wow. Anyway, Siberia is unable to breach through the Korean lines, as they will be attempting to hold the cities. Anyway, China asks for control of a state that Siberia agrees to transfer, as it was Chinese. But after the loss of the loss in the Korean War, Siberia seized it. So yeah. Now the Korean lines continue to stay there until, shockingly, Japan joins the war. Yep, Japan joins the war and immediately starts pushing from the south into the north of Korea, mainly hiding in between these two rivers, which is nice and mountainous. However, Korean garrisons from Seoul come to defend their lands, and the Japanese only make smaller gains. But the Koreans end up forced to strip away garrisons from the rivers, so the Chinese are able to cross and they're able to cross into certain cities, along with Siberia crossing into the north. So yeah, this is mainly what's going to happen. And then Japan stages a naval invasion. Japan stages a naval invasion of Seoul, and after the fall of Seoul, Korea decides not to surrender. They moved the capital. They moved the capital to Pyongyang. But then China finishes them off with the capture of Pyongyang. So here is going to be the peace deal. Okay, so here is going to be the peace deal. It's kind of hard to see it once again. I'm gonna make it a little bit darker, so it's much easier for you to tell. So China makes puppets in the north around Pyongyang, while Siberia also makes another puppet in the very north, while Japan takes the south, and then after that, after a while of debating, they decide to make a puppet out of them. No, I feel like it's a bit too that close. Yeah, this good. So they make a puppet out of them, and Korea has completely fallen. After all these wars, we will go back to discoveries. As the expedition into Antarctica will continue with the discovery of St. Andrew Island. If you're wondering how the people in Antarctica are not dying, it's very simple. The major cities down here are the only reason why they exist is because of key importance, and they have like about 500 population, give or take. What? Oh, I forgot to set it to that much. So, because of that, so anyway, like 500 teams of expeditions discover some land, and then everyone starts placing claims on it. That doesn't mean that they actually have brought anyone there. It's like someone slapping a claim like all the way over here, even though they never went there. Kind of like how the UK owns land in Antarctica that no one has ever explored yet. No. So, yeah. Anyway, further expansion from the south. Here comes. And if you're wondering, like, if you're asking me, how did they get this advanced technology to go across here? It's because of the Norwegians. The Norwegians have some of the most powerful boats. So they have sold it to the Canadians, and who sold it for a higher price to the Americans, who sold it to a higher price to the Mexicans, who sold it to an even higher price to the Incans, which shared the design with with Argentina, since they are still a bit friends. They are as later on, they agree to make a joint Antarctic territory. So they will merge their lands into like a little Antarctic country, the first Antarctic country. So they agree on these borders, and they merge their lands together to stop bickering. as the Argentinians will invest, and along with them. Now Uruguay, seeing its abilities, will will start expanding a little bit. The reason why I'm bringing up Uruguay is because Uruguay starts motivating other natives to start making their own country. And after breaking news of this, a new country in the very in the west, in the south, like a bit north of Uruguay, will split off and form their own little nation, right over here. And their capital will be their only major city. Sorry, I mixed C and S. So there we go. City, and this is also gonna be their capital. So yeah, that's the new country in South America. Now back to the European continent. As tensions rise across the continent, people start guaranteeing and bringing other nations to the fold. So, for example, oh wait, I forgot to bring Lithuania into the fold. Was it? Wait, wrong way. Control C, Control V, and now I'll move this guy over here. There we go. Anyway, as tensions start rising, people will start guaranteeing other nations. Like, for example, the Bamboo Alliance will guarantee the independence of the Czech Republic. Will guarantee the independence of the Czech Republic. Right here. There. So they guarantee the independence of the Czech Republic, while France is looking for a way to get another victory, as they'll start building up military industry, and they plan to team up with the Norwegians to invade Britain. So eventually, after a while, they ask the Norwegians for help invading Britain. However, they decline, as they believe they already own a ton of Britain, and they don't know risk losing Britain. But if they lose the British Isles, they'll free Greenland, Iceland, and their North American expedition may as well be cooked. So they don't risk it, but they agree to give France military access. So because of this, France will start pro-French resistance movements across Britain. The first one starting in Wales, and in Cork, Ireland. So yeah, with breaking news with breaking speed, they'll quickly get the river, and then the main revolt will spread like wildfire across Wales. However, the Cork revolt sees a lot less success, and they end up being forced to hide away in the mountains or in the major city. Wait, is this Cork or is this Cork? I don't know. But anyway, this revolt is ending up being forced to hide in the mountains, while the Welsh one is hiding behind the rivers and holding the city of Bristol. Now France will make a claim that, hey, the British are mistreating the Cornwallish, and will rally their population to war. Be very well, this is at the time span of 5 years from the last war, and also the French along with Iberians have really improved their policing skills, so rioters are quickly dispersed. Now, because of this and the good relationship with Norway, France is able to get some of the high-quality boats from Norway, and because of that, they are able to start a naval invasion in this very south of Ireland, like right here, right over here, and they will also start sending aid across the channel, along with the invasion of the city of Dover. Therefore scaring away the Bretonians. Okay, quick intermission though. I want to show you how much the map has grown, so I'll show you. In 3, 2, 1, go. Okay guys, so in comparison from the old map to the new map, here is France. Here's the nation of France, without its all of the major cities. That's why it looks like it has which cities. This is France compared to the new France. Look, you can compare Brittany, it's a lot larger. And you can even compare Normandy. It's incredibly large. So yeah. Bye bye. You're supposed to stop existing. How? You stop existing. Anyway, the French invasion will also occur in the very south, in this little island, this little place, and over here. And after a while of fighting, London is ending up being captured, and Norwich, I believe this is the city of Norwich, is also captured, being a major economic hub, along with the rest of Ireland falling after the main port has been captured, the main 2 ports. So the fall of Ireland, along with the French taking advantage of the Norwegian military axis and invading from the north, and connecting with the Norwich and getting all of Wales. So yeah. After this, the Bretonians will end up falling, and basically, really simple, France puppetry. They will puppet Britain. However, they will keep major areas. Like for example, they will keep this little part of Dover, and they will also keep Cornwall, and the Cornish identity, along with southern Wales, where the resistance was strong, and they'll keep all of Ireland for the resources. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention they'll connect up right here and own this major city. So yeah, this is Britain. This is Britain now, with all these little ports being leased to France. Now, Iberia wants its old land back, along with Morocco, and Danubia wants to strike Carthage again after losing some land. So, after a while, a treaty is signed, a secret treaty between Danubia and the Trapezoid Alliance is agreed. Their plan is to partition the Carthage. So here's how the partition line is going to go. Follow the blue line. Okay. So everything all across this blue line goes to the Bamboo Alliance, Everything past it goes to the purple team. Actually, let me make it a bit more fair. This. Right. This. So now this is gonna be the peace tier. So if the plan goes well, then the purple team and Morocco will end up looking something like this. Like this. This is the planned peace treaty. If Carthage falls. So, yeah. Anyway, Iberia will start the invasion with a surprise push through Morocco in the very north, successfully capturing many ports and capturing this major city before falling back on the river, as they are quite worried about the Carthaginian offense. After I'm sorry, be very aware that Morocco is basically like a really weak rump state after the fall of most of their land. So they're basically like mostly Sahara Desert. So after a while of discussion, it's agreed that Morocco will be given its land back, and also the capital will change from down here. Okay, I gotta put this back. There we go, and then boom, 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 boom. And yeah. So anyway, Morocco will get all this land, and they will change their capital. The capital city. I just went 10. They'll change their capital city over back to the city of Casablanca. However, Danubia is facing more struggles as they I accidentally did that. As their plans to invade are not going really well, as their invasion of Slovenia gets quickly stomped by the garrisons of Tripolitania, and eventually it gets bogged down over here. Along with Egypt sending an ultimatum to the purple team demanding this land, which the purple team will refuse, causing war with the Egyptians. And remember, the Egyptians are part of the Square Alliance. So because of that, it's gonna be a lot more Slavish. So the Slovenian naval invasion is getting a ton of supplies right now in order to fight Egypt off and to attempt to war against Carthage. However, even though Carthage is losing, it doesn't mean that they're gonna make their moves. They make an invasion of Sardinia and Sicily. So the invasion of Sicily is incredibly easy, as there's barely any garrisons there. I do not know why. Like that, and Carthage will land in Calgary. However, backup troops from Lithuania are successfully holding the line in the west of Sardinia, and making a small little pushback. What's going on with my chickens, but anyway, they will successfully capture this land and this part and this part. So mainly they will be attempting to hold all this land over here. Anyway, Illyria will join on this war because Illyria's government is still aligned with the Bamboo Alliance, and since they're desperate for allies, they agree to invite Illyria in as basically in the Civil War, the Republican faction split into the Liberals and the Conservatives. The old one was led by the Liberals, the new one's led by the Conservatives, which are actually more leading to the Bamboo, since the Bamboo Alliance is full of Conservatives. There we go. So Illyrian troops will support Morocco's will support Morocco's offensive across the river across the river, and slowly the offensive seems to get bogged down and bogged down, along with a surprise invasion along with a jump scare for Iberia, as a surprise invasion from Carthage will see them actually be invading Granada along with the city of Valencia and the Palma Islands. The Balearic Islands. Yeah, the Balearic Islands. So Carthage will mainly hold this line. However, the push into Egypt is a lot larger, is incredibly large, and since Egypt has been recently weakened with the war against the Red Team, which they lost all of the Levante lands, they were basically a bit, chopped. So yeah. However, good news for Egypt. After the fall of this city over here, a small garrison over from here, from the city and from Cairo and from the Sinai, will all meet up together, and then they'll disobey the commander's orders of a really dangerous mission, and they will actually plan a much more smarter one. They'll go around the Sahara desert, and then they'll start pushing from the very south, and after a while, these troops are in fact separated. However, the troops are incredibly strong, and they start using guerrilla warfare tactics, so they go into hiding. However, these troops will start raiding supply lines of the Purple Team, with little rebellions across the land. So they will be harassing the supply lines of the Purple Team of the invasion. Because of that, the invasion in Egypt gets bogged down. So because of this, what is it called? Danubia decides to try and open up another front desperately. So they negotiate with the French for some of their fleet in return for a ton of money, and they will harass convoy supplies from going to Sardinia and Sicily, for completely destroying the invasion, and along with using the French fleet that they bought to help Iberia beat them. Be very well, this is a temporary alliance, as Danubia still has claims over parts of France. After this, Morocco will make a miraculous plan. Because many Carthaginians have ran over to Tunis, as they are worried that Danubia will plan an invasion of Tunisia. So, because of that, Morocco was able to make a massive push and successfully capture the city of Oran. While the Slovenian insurrection, after learning from the Egyptians, will do the exact same thing as the Egyptians. They'll send a small task force and raid the city, invade this little city for all of its resources, and they will also raid nearby towns for their supply and destroy and then they will also hold key trade routes like that. Therefore, harassing the supply lines, and after a while, the supply lines are completely gone. Now, Carthage, learning from its mistakes, along with Danubia in their push through Egypt, realizes that in order to solve the problem, they should start protecting their supply lines. So after one by one, the soldiers end up starting to die out as the garrisons of the trade routes and supply lines pick them off. So yeah, after this, Carthage sues for peace. Sorry, not Carthage. because they have a lot more capitulation points. It is Egypt. Egypt. It's more accurately Egypt. So Egypt is agreed to but is forced to hand over almost all of the northern territories. However, Egypt in return will have a truce with Danubia, promising not a single more invasion. And if they were like, Danubia offers to support them for an invasion of the Red Team, promising them the Sinai and the Red Coast. So because of that, Egypt basically is secured as a tributary of Danubia. I forgot to mention they also are paying war reparations, so they're basically a tributary. But not permanent, like they're like not permanent tributary. I don't really know how to describe it. Wait, I have a big brain moment. There. Wait. Just curious. No, they aren't because of this. I'm gonna make it slave whatever. Now it's too similar. Slave later. Yeah, there. So after the puppetry, Ethiopia and Tanzania strengthened their alliance. I forgot to mention they were supposed to discover each other. Right here. Bah. So anyway, they will strengthen their alliance, and then it will basically become like a anti Danubia and Red Team conquest alliance. So yeah. Malawi, after a while of economic stagnation, the people end up voting to join Tanzania's puppet state. Where is this? Wait, no, this is more Kenya than Tanzania. I'm gonna rename this to Tanzania and this is Kenya. So yeah, Tanzania and Malawi go into a personal union. But to make sure the people are happy, a ton of investments will go into Malawi. Will end up going into Malawi. So yeah, this is the main borders. So yeah. Anyway, after a while, I forgot to mention Tanzania will give up on the Lake Victoria borders over to the puppet state. So yeah, the last war is the biggest war of them all. Germany unfortunately makes a mass blunder. The blunder is forgetting about the secret alliance. So they annex a part of Czechoslovakia without them noticing. So a war breaks out between Czechia and France. Sorry, not Czechia and Germany. And France is guaranteeing them, as you can see. So France doesn't join immediately. However, they will secretly be supplying their ally with a very small border they have over here, along with making Illyria raid some convoys over. So because of that, Czechia is putting a lot more of a fierce fight than Germany. They also are purposely marking their guns. They are purposely putting their guns as Czechoslovak ones to purposely throw them off board. Eventually, Marco with the goal of mainly dominating the Western Mediterranean, along with capturing this land, as Morocco basically did barely anything. So yeah, however, the Moroccans are still a bit angry for them owning it. So to appease Morocco, Spain agrees to give some of its land back in Iberia. So yeah, because Morocco used to if you didn't know, Morocco used to own southern Iberia, but then they sold it to Spain. So yeah, they'll give the Gibraltar straight back. In return, for land like right over here. So this is the deal. So yeah, that is the deal. Anyway, Spain keeps on Spain will start the colonial empire by setting this. Does this have Anyway, the discovery of the coast will continue as a massive breakthrough happens. After a massive breakthrough happens in the South China Sea, after a full discovery along with the Sea of Japan. So yeah. Now next episode will be on the war in Czechia. So peace out, goodbye, whatever you say.